Huge breaking news this afternoon and a Sky Sports News exclusive. The proposed takeover of Newcastle is off. The Saudi-led investment group and their partners have withdrawn their offer for the club. The funds say the decision has been taken due to the prolonged process combined with the global uncertainty around long-term investments. Contracts were exchanged 17 weeks ago on a £300 million deal with the Saudi Public Investment Fund, PCP Capital Partners, and the Reuben brothers. Now, the investment group issued the following statement: with a deep appreciation for the Newcastle community and the significance of its football club, we have come to the decision to withdraw our interest in acquiring Newcastle United Football Club. We do so with regret, as we were excited and fully committed to invest in the great city of Newcastle and believe we could have returned the club to the position of its history, tradition and fans' merit. Unfortunately, the prolonged process under the current circumstances, coupled with global uncertainty, has rendered the potential investment no longer commercially viable. To that end, we feel a responsibility to the fans to explain the lack of alternatives from an investment perspective. As an autonomous and purely commercial investor, our focus was on building long-term value for the club, its fans and the community, as we remain committed to collaboration, practicality and proactivity through a difficult period of global uncertainty and significant challenges for the fans and the club. Ultimately, during the unforeseeably prolonged process, the commercial agreement between the investment group and the club's owners expired, and our investment thesis could not be sustained, particularly with no clarity as to the circumstances under which the next season will start and the new norms that will arise for matches, training and other activities. As often occurs with proposed investments in uncertain periods, time itself became an enemy of the transaction, particularly during this difficult phase marked by the many real challenges facing us all from COVID-19. We feel great compassion for the Newcastle United fans, with whom we shared a great commitment to help Newcastle United harness its tremendous potential and build upon its impressive and historic legacy while working closely with the local community. We would like to say that we truly appreciated your incredible expressions of support and your patience throughout this process. We are sorry it is not to be. We wish the team and everyone associated with it much good luck and success. Right, well, Carvey Solical joins us on set with a little bit more about this. This was, of course, a Sky Sports News exclusive. We're the first to bring you the news, the first to bring you that lengthy statement as well. Carvey, why was this takeover in doubt from the start?
Well, I think the first thing we should say is just to explain why Newcastle United fans feel so deflated this afternoon. If this takeover had gone through, they would have become the richest club in the Premier League. The Saudi-backed takeover, when you look at their wealth, they would have been 15 times richer than Manchester City, for instance. Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman is worth 30 times more than Roman Abramovich. So this is what Newcastle United and their supporters have lost this afternoon. Now, as you rightly said, this proposed takeover has been fraught with problems and difficulties from day one. Why is that? Well, simply because football is a global business. This was not a simple football deal. This was almost a country buying a football club, and that country is Saudi Arabia, and it has some very controversial laws, and it has a pretty poor record by Western standards when it comes to human rights. So the problems to begin with, there were two main problems. The first one was to do with human rights. The second one was the whole issue of piracy. When we're talking about human rights, for instance, we need to talk about the case of the dissident journalist Jamal Khashoggi, who 2 years ago, he was a journalist based in Washington. He walked into the Saudi consulate in Istanbul to get some paperwork signed off to do with his marriage. Inside the Saudi consulate in Istanbul, he was murdered and dismembered. Now, according to the United Nations, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, the ruler of Saudi Arabia, who is also in charge of Saudi Arabia's public investment fund, which were going to own 80% backing this takeover, he was individually liable for this murder.